Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here, this time reviewing on Transformers Worst Bot Ever Free Comic Day Comic Review. Now, as you know, Transformers Worst Bot Ever is giving the insight to the whole new Transformer character known as Ballpoint, who obviously is meant to transform into a pen, and is meant to be a callback to all those gimmicky, lameish Transformers that you would see that transform into hats or other things that people wouldn't buy. And the best I can say about Ballpoint is that he tries to make himself sound like this knight in shining armor, this kind of ultimate hero, and it does remind me a bit of Jacob Hopkins from The Owl House. Both of them are egotistical, both act like they've made a difference, and both of them are kind of seen as the laughingstock of the people around them. So let's get on with the story. It starts off on Cybertron saying, "Everything was perfect. On our home planet of Cybertron was a technical paradise until those lousy Autobots had to mess it all up." And we kind of see how everyone is fighting like Optimus, also Blur, Megatron, Starscream, and we kind of see how Blur's cowering for his life. And right away, we see how Ballpoint tries to make himself sound like this really tough as nails guy. But of course, we kind of see how Blur sees him as a joke, but to Ballpoint, he sees himself as this knight in shining armor. And we see how everyone is fighting it out, like Soundwave, Reflector, also Jazz, Elita 1, Optimus, and the Sharkticons. And we see how, obviously, due to Ballpoint's ego, we see how Megatron thinks he's his favourite. We see how he tries to make it sound like he's accomplished things when he hasn't, and makes it seem like the Decepticons respect and care about him. And they all say, "Can I get your autograph? Best bot ever!" But of course, much like in the G1 cartoon and other continuities, they end up going onto the Ark, and Ballpoint tries to make himself sound like he's being this really tough as nails guy, but of course in reality he's obviously meant to be a joke. And they end up crashing on prehistoric Earth, crash around to where the volcano is, and everyone ends up on stasis for 1,000,000 years until the volcanic eruption. And right away, Terratran 1 is reactivated, scans forms, and of course is the first to be revived, and even tries to make it sound like he repaired everyone, and Starscream saying, "Whoa, Ballpoint, you are like super smart and absolutely brave. I hear you're a fantastic dancer too." And we see right away, as Ballpoint's finished telling his story, it's clear that characters like Soundwave as well as Starscream see him nothing more than a third-rate nuisance, and we see him saying, "Smoothies, just sorry, Starscream, not everyone can be flashy like us. Don't you listen to him, bro. Never compare yourself to me again, worm." And right away we see how even Starscream and even Soundwave and that have their limits with Ballpoint, and Megatron instructs everyone to go into the whole throne room immediately. And we see how Soundwave basically releases Rumble and Frenzy, and this is based on the whole Rumble and Frenzy colour scheme joke, which obviously it's not hard to tell them apart. It's like Buzzsaw and Laserbeak. Laserbeak is meant to be red, obviously Buzzsaw is meant to be like yellowy orange. And we see right away that they head to the throne room, and just as Shockwave is giving the sort of important business files and that to handle, we see how Ballpoint acts like he's getting wants his autograph, and just then writes his name. But we even see how, due to these being important files, Shockwave is furious, saying, "I am going to destroy you." Haha, this guy, hilarious. Whoa! And yeah, given the introduction to where we're going to see the whole new comic book series known as Transformers Worst Bot Ever. And I think my thoughts on this Free Comic Book Day comic is that it's definitely enjoyable and definitely serves as a cautionary tale about not being too egocentric, not painting yourself as this hero in shining armor, thinking that you're this great and amazing person, and also see how, yeah, people who you think do care about you might not actually. And I think it's clear due to Ballpoint's ego is that he fails to see that the Decepticons see him nothing more than a third-rate nuisance and a complete waste of space. So it's definitely an enjoyable issue. It's definitely trying to be this kind of more jokeful take on the Transformers stuff. So it definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Book Reviewer here, signing out.